Greetings, my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to another video. First things first, thank you all for checking this one out. My people, Shine Shah Afridi is back, and batsmen are already looking at how they are going to deal with him. Now, we're going to take a look at the test match between Pakistan and Sri Lanka, so you guys can hear how things are going. Plus, we're going to talk about former West Indies captain Pollard, who recently spoke on a couple of sensitive topics as it relates to players taking up yearly franchise contract. And he also spoke about the fact that he, alongside others, were turning to villains when they decided to tread the part of T20 franchise cricket. We're also going to take a look at former Manchester City defender Benjamin Mendy, who was found not guilty a couple days ago. So just give a listening ear until the end and let me know what you think in the comment section. Oh, before we go down into it, for the regular viewers, the plan was for us to go live today, but unforeseen circumstances gonna throw that off. So hopefully tomorrow we can go live to have a chat. See it? Alright, let us kick things off with the Sri Lanka versus Pakistan test match, and then we will go straight into the Pollard part of the video. So Sri Lanka and Pakistan, they are involved in their first of two test matches, and at the end of day one, Sri Lanka batting first. They finished off on 242 for 6. 242 for 6. They lost a couple of early wickets, but we would have seen fight back from a couple of batsmen to really help them back into a good position. It was the young left arm seamer Shine Shah Afridi who returned from a year. I think he was on about a year break because of injuries and stuff. He returned and he picked up a couple of early wickets to send the Pakistanis in front. So let me just give you a quick rundown. 242 for 6, as I said. Veteran player is still there. Well, Dhananjaya Da Silva is still there. He had a good partnership with Angela Matthews, before Matthews was removed. So Matthews was actually removed, but Dhananjaya Da Silva is there at 94 of 157 deliveries. So he's holding the fort down. Now, in terms of the bowling for Pakistan, Shine Shah Afridi, he bowled 15 overs and has so far picked up 3 wickets for 63 runs. So he is the leader there. Naseem Shah, he has picked up 1. Ahmed has picked up 1. And Salman has picked up 1 wicket. So those are the wicket takers. As I said, Sri Lanka 242 for 6. The top scorer so far, Dhananjaya Da Silva with that 94, Angela Matthews with 64, and they are the ones that would have come together and would have make sure that the thing is not too embarrassing. As it relates to the fall of wickets, they were 6 for 1, then they moved to 22 for 2, 53 for 3, 54 for 4, and from 54 for 4, Dhananjaya Da Silva and Angela Matthews, they basically held things together, and then they were 185 for 5, 242 for 6, and that's where they lost the last wicket there at the close of day 1. So I'm going to continue to monitor that test to see how things actually turn out. These are two teams that they tend to swing back and forth as it relates to good performances and performances that are similar to West Indies. So we're definitely going to continue to monitor that one to see how things work out. Alright, moving on to our former captain now, Pollard. So Pollard was asked about players taking up yearly franchise contracts, which would mean that they are hardly going to have time for international cricket. Now, this is what Pollard had to say on that. Pollard said, and I quote, I don't know if any at this point in time. So he's saying he isn't aware if there is any at this point in time. But he's actually but at some point in time, it's been touted that this is going to happen, and I can't see it not happening. So the man is saying that he isn't aware of any that is going on now, but at some point in time it's going to happen, and he cannot see why it wouldn't happen, because there are players that are going to pick it up. As I said, personally, where West Indies cricket is concerned, once the players that are regularly playing for us aren't taking them up, I don't have any problem with others. The ones that don't want to play any cricket for West Indies, they can take up all 3, 4, 5 years franchise contract, if you understand what I mean. My regular viewers will understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that this is good for the cricket. It's not good for the cricket, but people will do what they want. You understand? I'm just hoping that the guys that actually still play for us will not take these up. Don't have any problem with them going and playing their franchise cricket here and there, but the yearly ones will definitely hamper us. And the problem is, once it has started, you're gonna see people start taking them up slowly, because people gonna say, listen, we're not obligated to play for our national team. We want to take care of our families, and you can't do a man anything for that. You understand? It's just that ICC will probably have to try and find a way to sanction them, to make sure that, I don't even know how they're going to do it, but Pollard spoke about even the initial phase when they started to play franchise cricket, and he's always finding, once these sort of topics come up, he's always going to mention this. So this is Pollard again, and I quote: "Some of us were forced in a corner and we were vilified for it, but now the pathway is clear. Everyone is seeing the light. Everyone is seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and I have just seen a lot of people sprint through the doors. I just sit back with a smile on my face, with the typical Caribbean flair, maybe watching the blue seas and the sand, and just taking in the movie." I think he's talking about the fact that they were early trendsetters as it relates to going off and playing franchise cricket, and he's saying that they were vilified for it, but people are sprinting through the door and thing. I don't know if he's trying to make himself and the others to sound like some unsung heroes as it relates to opening up T20 doors, because people that are still in love with the actual international cricket, they are not still not impressed. You understand? We know that people gonna always play T20 cricket, but know that people are going out there more to play it now. I don't know if people should see themselves as heroes to be the ones that went out early, because it's still affecting the cricket, and it also cleared the pathway to affect the international cricket. So I don't know if people should be feeling as if they are heroes, because they are the ones that started the whole T20 thing, going off to play franchise cricket. One thing with Pollard, Pollard usually is available to play for West Indies. The thing is that a lot of people had issues with Pollard when he was playing, is that the performances that we got from him at the international level weren't necessarily the same at that we would have seen at franchise. So a lot of people got upset for that, but in all honesty, he wasn't one of them that would never ever turn up for West Indies. I mean, a couple of times we would have wanted him, and he was unavailable, but he's not one of them that just decided that he wasn't going to play any at all. And some of these new cricketers, they are just playing, especially with the different T20 leagues coming around now. And that is the difference. There are a whole lot of T20 leagues now than than when these guys started. So some of the youngsters now, they are just playing straight T20 cricket, and when the top international events come up now, like the World Cups, the T20 World Cups, the ODI World Cups, they expect to be selected, and the fanboys can't. The fanboys just expect that you should select them to play the top the World Cups, and then they disappear for another 7 months. When World Cup come again, they play, and they don't understand that there isn't going to be any cricket if you continue like that. If you just let these people walk in and walk out as they feel, as much as we hardly have any cricket right now, there's not going to be any cricket if they are just allowed to walk in and walk out as them please. Because when World Cup come around, you see they turn up and say that, yeah man, they can play. Or the series before World Cup, you will see they turn up and say, yeah man, we can play. And when the World Cup done now, you don't see them for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. and then when you decide that you're not selecting them, you want to try and give guys that are there fighting an opportunity to hear them, but oh yes, you're not selecting these man and they are better than this and better than that. The fans, them need to stop the foolishness. Them need to stop the foolishness. Anyway, let us finish off with some football. Manchester City left back, well, former Manchester City left back Benjamin Mendy, he was actually found not guilty on several charges. You know, we know that he was locked up, and you know, he was being tried for the RAPE thing, and several counts. You know, I think it was over 13 counts. They said that he was actually found not guilty on 6 counts of RAPE and 1 count of assault and a couple of other things, you know. So let us see how things will work out. He was fully freed, so I guess it's around about 7 or so charges, you know, that were thing there. My question is, when people, and not only for superstars, when people go through things like these, you know, and they come out not guilty and the name is already dragged, you know, how do they go about these things, you know? It's going to be interesting to see the developments around what happened, whether or not he's going to drop it fully, or he's going to try and bring a case against the girls that that would have you know, said that he did whatever. So we're going to leave it right there for now, my people. Just continue to stay tuned, and if you made it to the end of this video, tomorrow morning, remember that interview with O'Shane Thomas will be dropping. It's going to be interesting, my peeps. A lot of us have been talking about him and, you know, his career. You're going to want to hear a few things that he had to say. So big up on yourself and stay safe. Zane?